Hey everyone, this is Terry from Lithos and Lasers, and I have recently joined the engraved pencils team, and I'm going to show you guys how I do the engraved pencils. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a jig while we're making our pencils, because my jig is also my packaging. So if you all know me, I like to use a lot of foam board, ready board for my packaging. And so we're going to cover both things while we're making our quick and easy pencil engraving jig. So first, I've already measured my pencils, and they are 7.5 inches long and just about 0.26 inches wide. So just make a rectangle. We're going to come over here, we're going to transform that. I'm going to turn off the lock so that I can say 7.5 long. Now I'm going to jump over here to one I've already made just to verify my width. Now you get kind of a preview of what we're going to be doing here. We are going just under 0.26, 0.2576. That gives it a nice snap. I have to push the pencil in. It's not going to fall out of your packaging. So, all right. So that is one pencil's cutout and one pencil jig. Now we want to be about 1 inch from the eraser side. So really simple. I'm just going to make a little box here. And I'm going to set that box to be 1 inch wide. Doesn't really matter at this point how tall it is. Just kind of give us an idea that we're not going to use that spot. Cool? We'll delete that later. So next up, we are going to add some text. I'm going to pause for a second while I get my next customer's name out. Alright, so I have my name. I'm just going to paste it there. And the font I have been using for names is this Century Schoolbook Bold at 0.2. Or yeah, 0.2. If you're adding a grade, if I was going to do like 8th grade, the font I've been using for that has been this Mandala Script regular. So also at 0.2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this, well, I'm going to convert that text to outlines. I'm going to unite my path even though I don't have to as an engrave. Now I'm going to center my text in my cutout. And then once that's done, I'm also going to group those two things together. Actually, before I do that, no infill, and let's make this red. That's burgundy. Try that again. There we go. Alright, because I want that to be a cut. So we're going to group those two things together. We're kind of done. If we were going to put a grade on there, then we would, or some other text, then we're going to create outlines out of that. We would place that where we want it. We would also align it Now that these two things are grouped, the text and the box, they're going to move together. If you just tried without grouping these things, these two things would line up and this would not be included in that, and so they could get off. So this particular customer, we're not doing a grade, so we don't have to worry about that. So next up, we have a pencil, and I want 10 of those. So I'm going to copy and paste, and it really doesn't matter if they're on top of each other. I'll show you that in a second. Oh, you know what though? Before I get carried away, we don't need that box. So let's copy again, paste. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So now I'm going to align all of those up to one end, like that. Now, it doesn't look like I have 10, but watch this. Let me grab one of them. All right. I'm going to use this align to, and I'm going to align it to this top one. And then I want 0.25 spacing vertically. Boom. All right. So that's just the spacing I use. You could use more or less. Next, we're going to make this into the tray. So I'm just going to grab what I had made before. So 9 by 6. So I'm going to make 2 9 by 6 rectangles, and I'll show you that in a second. Just move these guys over. And I'm going to round it. So it's actually going to be yeah, 9 wide by 6. It's going to have no infill. I like to cut these separately, so I'm just going to set them as a color. Doesn't matter what the color is. Let's grab all those 10 pencils. Let's group them. Let's add this guy. We're going to align vertically and horizontally. We're going to make a copy of this. Going to group those. Going to line these two up at the base. Could be in the middle. It's the same size, so it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to move this guy a little bit closer. Doesn't matter. So out in the Glowforge, I have a piece of 20-inch wide by maybe 9-inch, 8-inch tall foam board. That's going to be our jig, and that's going to be our packaging. So as long as these two things equal less than 20 inches or 19.4, then we are good. So we're 18. So to keep any of this from resizing, there's two things you can do. What I do is I export the selection as a PDF. This is Jackson 10 pencils. What you can also do, if you like SVG, is save as, choose SVG. I'm going to put it in the same place. Jackson. I'm not going to, well, I might finish saving. Anyway, there's SVG. When you hit save, you're going to get another dialog. You want to hit more options. You want to uncheck responsive. If it's responsive, things will change size. If you uncheck responsive, it should come in exactly the same. So let's go over to our Glowforge and let's bring in our PDF. Get it kind of in the ballpark. And our size is 6 tall, a little over 18 wide. So let's open up the SVG and see what we have. It should be identical, as long as you uncheck responsive. Alright, so that's set to 18146 by 6. 18146 by 6. So same. Now I do believe if you were to go back into Illustrator to reuse this and you imported the SVG, you could just ungroup things and then change out your text. When you import the PDF, you're going to have to release the clipping mask first. So one extra step when you're saving as PDF. Alright, so I'm not going to worry about what the material is. I'm going to set focus here on my material. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to cut out all these spaces for a pencil. I have a foam board preset for that. This foam board came from a different store. It's a little bit different makeup, so I'm using a little bit different power on that one. So we're going to ignore our text right now, and we're going to ignore our outer packaging cuts. So we are ready to go cut out the slots for our pencils. It's not going to take long, maybe 2.5 minutes for that. So, yep, 2 minutes. So I'll meet you out there at the Glowforge. Alright, so 2 minutes of this, then we'll open it up, we'll take those cuts out, and we'll fill it up with pencils. Pencils we'll be using are these Ticonderoga everybody likes. It's 10 in a pack. I'm selling them as 10. I also bought a couple of bricks of 72 tonight. Saved me a bit of money on them, but still. Currently I'm selling them 10 for 10, and people are buying them up, so that seems to be an okay price. I have my wood pin down. I'm going to add another pin just to keep me from moving. While I'm removing these. Alright, and repeat. Now you fill it up with pencils. Alright, so got your text, you're going to turn it over. I take it to the end, push down, and then try to make sure that the flat part is facing up and that your eraser is to the right. That 1 inch I gave, there was a little bit of leeway in that 1 inch to keep you off. I did engrave a couple and it got into that green stripe, so going 1 inch is kind of safe. Hardest part is rotating this thing and getting the flat side up. Alright, I'm gonna skip ahead. Alright, we've got 10 pencils loaded in. We have no other cuts right now, so we're gonna go to the Glowforge. Next thing we're gonna tell it to do is just to engrave the names on. And then finally we'll come around here and we'll cut 2 rectangles out. But let's go back to Glowforge. Alright, we are back. So next we're going to tell our spaces to ignore. We're going to tell our pencils to engrave. I made a preset earlier. I was doing 1090, 270, and that was a little bit deep. I also tried 80. That was a little deep. Currently I'm liking 1065, 270 on my basic. So that's what we've got set up now. Again, we're going to set focus. And the important thing here is really we're just measuring the distance. Your camera will lie at this point. Do not adjust your design to meet the camera. We did not move anything out there, and so we do not have to move anything in our design. So if it doesn't look right, you know better. So far we've got 2 minutes of Glowforge time. Just waiting for it to focus. Taking its sweet time focusing. There we go. So you see that? Front of our pencil looks pretty good. Back says we're a little bit long. Some people might be tempted now to bump this up, to bump it to the left. Don't touch it. Alright, so we are set. Let's go ahead and see how long our engrave is going to be. You see up here at the top it looks really good, and down here at the bottom it looks worse. That's that fisheye camera. Alright, so another 5 minutes. So you're looking at maybe 9 minutes to do 10 pencils, plus a couple minutes in design. It's really a quick and easy money maker. Alright, so let's go out there and engrave some pencils. Alright, we are back. Gonna engrave some pencils. Ignore my dirty Glowforge. I did wipe it, but it's got some smears going on. Alright. And give it a second to move on up, and then we'll focus on some of these lower ones that are already complete. What you think? Looking pretty good? We're about 5 down and 5 to go here in a second. And then we'll go in there and we'll cut the packaging. Now I don't know if you noticed when I put these names in there, I copied and pasted. Especially with a name like this, you copy paste and you're not going to have a spelling error unless they had a spelling error. But it's not going to be on you. So that's a tip. Copy and paste text anytime you can. Okay, at this point, you can open the lid if you want. Just realize that you're not going to move anything on the UI, so you don't have to worry about alignment or placement, anything like that. But if you do open the lid, you are going to have to set focus again. If you do not open the lid, we can go in there, turn off our engrave step, turn on our packaging cut step, and we're ready to go. And that's what we're about to do right now. Okay, so we are done. Notice it says ready. It doesn't say choose material or set focus. So we're going to turn off our engrave. We're going to turn on our packaging cut, which I tweaked just a bit from last time. I believe I set that to 80. Well, we don't know. 80's fine. So, not cutting anything in the middle. We're ignoring our text on our pencils this time. We're basically just cutting 2 rectangles. And that's going to be really fast. So, again, look at that. We don't care that the camera's messed up. "49 seconds. Can't beat it. See you out there." One more time. So this is the back of the packaging. The other cut's going to be the front of the packaging. We're going to use some I use Gorilla Glue spray adhesive. Right now I'm going to use some Super 77 spray adhesive. I'm going to give you a tip. Ask me how I learned, but you're not going to spray this piece with Super 77 because all your pencils are going to stick to it. So what you're going to do is you're going to spray the back side of this piece with the spray glue. Then you're going to put it on here. So. And you're going to take all these pencils out of the jig as well. And I have a trick for that also. So that tape is optional, but we already know flipping pencils over and lining them up is kind of a pain. So this just saves you a tiny bit of hassle. So let's get these out of here and get them glued up. Parts are out. That's our backer, that's our top. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna just remove all of our pencils, and the tape is gonna keep them face up. Just like that. So now we're gonna apply our glue to the back of this, and then we're gonna glue it to this. I just use my trash can, 3M Super 77. Clean the nozzle off. Doesn't take a ton. They're probably not going to leave them in here forever anyway. That stuff likes to have a couple seconds to get tacky, so we'll give it that. These are just lightly touching at the moment. I'm going to use gravity here to help me get them lined up. Okay, we don't have to worry, there is no glue in the pencil slots here. So now just get them lined up. Just press them on in. Nice snap. Pull your tape off. And then we got to add one more thing. All right. Time for a glue dot. Then we gotta tell them the awesome person who created that for them that those and lasers did. Alright, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. You saw that it really does not take that long, maybe 10 minutes tops, to design, engrave, cut packaging for your pencils. Feel free to use my packaging idea. Everybody else does, and I am happy to share and have everybody having great looking designs. So take care. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get my watch hours up to monetization mode. When I cleaned off all of my non-crafting content, I lost half of my watch hours, and then it was no longer eligible for monetization. So I need about 2,600 more hours. So if you like it, I have lots more videos coming. So like, subscribe, comment. I answer all the comments on there. So other than that, I hope this was helpful for you guys. See you later.